Do I have to do these videos still? I mean, I'm kind of burned out, if I'm being honest. Doing this 9 days straight, that's a pretty good streak. I think we can call it quits right now, right? Where did he get that gun from? What's up? It's me, the Music Man. We're back at it again with another album vent calendar video. The only show on the internet with really good first impressions on music. Bet you guys didn't think we'd get to the 10th one, huh? But my producer, off screen, reminded me that we're actually contractually obligated to make 14 more of these. So I couldn't stop, even if I wanted to. Saint-Anger by Metallica, one of the band's most infamous creative lows. Metallica, otherwise known as baby's first metal band, has to be one of the most iconic groups in the genre. Throughout the band's 40-year career, they've managed to produce some pretty well-liked albums. Projects such as Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets have gone down as metal classics. After the Black Album came out in 1991, the band tried to experiment more with their sound. That's code for chasing trends. They embraced groove metal when that was popular, and when Saint-Anger came out in 2003, they embraced a brand new influence. Unfortunately, I was locked out of my Spotify account, so I couldn't listen to the album the way I normally do. I had to download the album off the internet. I hope Metallica doesn't mind. I mean, I've paid for their albums before. I'd be willing to pay for this one if it was good. When I first tried to listen to this album, the opening riff struck me as not that bad. Sure, it was different than thrash Metallica, but I prefer that approach over rehashing 20-year-old material. Maybe this album was overhated just because it was different. Then the vocals kicked in, and it all went downhill. This album was rough, a real slog to get through. It doesn't help that the first track just so happened to be the best one, and all the tracks got progressively worse as the album went on. It's pretty bleh for the most part. Sure, there's some cool riffs at points, but they wear thin pretty quickly. There's definitely a lot of nu metal influence here, and it doesn't really mesh well with Metallica's overall sound. The menacing atmosphere that's found on a lot of their best tracks just isn't present. The elements that made tracks like Sanitarium and Disposable Heroes so good just aren't present on Saint-Anger at all. The thrash elements that get replaced here aren't replaced with anything comparable in quality. The sound lacks any real edge to it, which isn't something I particularly enjoy in a metal album. The worst part about listening to this album, bar none, is the drumming. I don't know who recorded this, but Lars Ulrich just sounds like he's bashing on tin cans the entire time. It doesn't help that Lars Ulrich isn't exactly known for being a very adventurous drummer. You're not going to be hearing anything akin to a blast beat on here, that's for sure. The drums are also very predominant in the mix. While I was listening to this, I couldn't stop focusing on the awful tinny, repetitive drum beats. James Hetfield's voice really shows his age. I don't expect him to sound exactly like he did 20 years prior, but his vocal delivery just doesn't work here. The vocals are just coarse and out of place. They just don't mesh well with this nu metal / groove metal sound the band wants to achieve. A good amount of the lyrics here too just aren't great. My lifestyle determines my death style. Fuck it all. Fuck it, no regrets. I hit the lights on these dark sets. Just really corny stuff. Overall, just not a big Saint-Anger fan. Sorry to the 3 Saint-Anger stans out there. I get that this album is a product of the band just not having a great time in general, but it doesn't make it more listenable. It just sounds like the band is trying to emulate System of a Down instead of doing their own thing. It drags on for about 40 minutes longer than it should have. So, I guess it's time to open the box. I don't really have a choice in the matter, so let's just go for it, I guess. Deceit by The Heat. That really rolls off the tongue. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Just give me a sec. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Metallica just ordered a hit on me because I torrented their album. Can I borrow that gun for a sec?